Greetings, YouTube. Happy Thursday, particularly for those of you who are happy enough to get your hands on a 5-star Namor after an intense grind. We know that this was a record grind in the first round. 80 million points. That means 150 people, which is a lot of people, and possibly bots, grinded for that mark and above. I think rank number one was well above 110 million, which makes me nauseous just saying that out loud. So, of course, the biggest speculation this week in Marvel Contest of Champions was what would the cutoff be for the record round one. Now, I think typically it's a safe assumption that the cutoff will drop. But the question is by how much? Now, there were some other YouTubers who predicted, no fault of their own, that it would actually be higher. I saw a couple people say, to grind 81 or 82 million, and then quite a few people who were in the mid to upper 70s. I thought safely it would probably be about 70 million because that would still be really close to record breaking in general. But one of the interesting things about the psychology behind record round one arena grinds is that people who maybe would have considered grinding in round two talk themselves out of it because they figure they probably don't have a chance, so why even try? And that actually helps the people who are willing to jump in because it lowers the scores. And in this case, I can't tell you what 146 through 150 is, but 145th place got 58 million. So we know that is the minimum for the information. 58 million. That is a 22 million point drop for round two. That is such great news for the community. And that is especially great news for those of you who grinded for 60 million to 70 million, who maybe weren't that confident that you would pull the champion, and yet you were. And then, of course, this also means for all of you who grinded at that 80 million above cutoff, especially if you went to 90 and above, you just did a lot more work than you had to, but hopefully it was well worth it, especially for those of you who grinded the second round so you could naturally awaken that champion that maybe you were able to grind in the first round. This is good data for the community because it does suggest that it doesn't have to be as intense of a grind. Keep in mind another factor I've said in past videos, especially when I talk about arena calculations, that factors into a lower round two score is when round two starts on a Monday, because so many people in the United States and elsewhere work Monday through Thursday, whereas if round one starts on a Thursday, I've known people who will request off on Friday, and they will grind all day and all night Friday, and they normally don't work on Saturday, so you have 2 out of 3 of the days that are full days to grind in the arena, besides, of course, that Sunday morning off. Whereas Monday through Thursday, it's harder to ask for that off, and generally if you do have that off, it's because you took it off. So that does factor in, along with what I had already said regarding talking yourself out of trying to even think about 80 million points. I've never grinded for anything above like 20 million because I just don't have the units or the patience or the stamina even to do that. So much respect for those arena grinders that do it the right way, that don't cheat, and that just spend a lot of hours going for the champion of their desire. I hope that this was worth it to all of you. And again, it's great data for the community. 80 million in round one. And round two, it looks to be maybe even 57, 56. I'd be shocked if it was 55. So maybe we'll talk 56, 57 is the cutoff now. As always, thank you for submitting your data to me to get this video up as fast as possible. Thank you to everybody who supports my Marvel Contest of Champions YouTube channel. Have a great rest of your Thursday.